It's flown by, and the sad thing is it seems to speed up once you get past the halfway mark. I think there's mixed emotions as well, that you're thinking this has been a really long year and everyone's tired and wanting to get to the end, but also sad that it's come to the end because I've got a great team and they've come so far, and if we were just starting now it might be a different result at the end of another round the world. There's a lot of conversations now of what next, what do we do after this, how do you follow this? And there is the reality that many of us probably won't sail together. Obviously, I hope to be instrumental and a part of their careers going forwards because this is a huge stepping stone for most of my crew. But it's been a good year. It's been one of the most enjoyable years I've had. Well, it's quite funny because the focus is obviously on who's going to win out of the three boats that are fighting for the overall win. And as you say, the middle, the Axel Nobles and the Vestas aren't really going to move. And then at the bottom, we're 1 point adrift of Scallywag. Now in Auckland at the halfway point, we were 13 points behind them. Now we're back to within 1 point, and we just need to beat them with a boat in between, and we're not on the bottom of the leaderboard. And if you'd put that to everybody at the very start of this race, they wouldn't have even counted us as being competitive. So to not finish at the bottom is definitely the dream for my team. We obviously wanted that elusive podium where we've been racing with everybody for some of the legs, but the overall leaderboard is what people will look at, and that to us will be a huge achievement. The risk would be to match race them and just get too involved with Scallywag. We need to be confident that we can sail with the rest of the fleet. We've done that for the last 5 legs now. We've been amongst the other boats and in the leading pack. So we need to be confident that we can do that, because then that will help us secure a boat between us and Scallywag. If we just match race Scallywag, we risk both being at the back of the fleet, and that won't be enough for us to get off the bottom of the overall board. This final leg is difficult, and it's we know as the legs get shorter, they get more intense, and we know there's an element of coastal racing amongst it. But we have certain requirements to be in certain places at certain times with turning marks off the Aarhus flyby mark. And that's put a big pressure on the race management to put a course in to get us in the right place at the right time. So as a result, we're almost doing a windward leeward to the Arctic Circle and back, it feels like. So we've got up to Norway before we come back to Denmark, and then we go back up towards Norway before we get a mark in at an appropriate time that will hopefully get us to the finish line at the time they want us to all finish. Now the weather has different ideas. We've got a huge low pressure system for departure and the first couple of days. Then we're going to be finishing in a massive high pressure ridge, and we're not really sure of how big that ridge is going to be. So it could be we do all this hard work really, really hard and flog ourselves hard, and it will all come down to a float off just outside of Den Haag. So I mean, it's the nature of yacht racing, we all know that, but it will be an interesting 72 hours on the water for sure. I'm not 100% sure he realises what he's got himself in for. We have spoken, because there isn't compulsory need to take the guest on board for this final leg. Paolo's been committed to this option right from the very beginning, so I've explained the weather. I've explained, the circumstances and the conditions and how hard we're going to be pushing. We're not going to compromise at all, and he's up for it. He wants to see how the team race and what it's really like, and hopefully we're convincing this is the way forwards and we won't put him off sailing forever. I think for me it was the inexperience, so developing the under-30s. When you take on a team, if you look at some of the other crew lists that the others have got, the amount of experience, the depth of experience they have for the Volvo Ocean race is huge. And I took a team on that had 60% never having done this race before, not gone around the world before, not some of them even done offshore sailing before. And if you think of our budget that we had and our lead-up time, there was not a lot of time to do anything in developing that. We just had to hit the ground running and see what happened and learn on the way. And I think people would have written us off right from the start on that background, and how we're sailing and how we're placing ourselves in the fleet and how competitive we've been has been the real buzz for me. I'm so proud of what we've done, and my only frustration is they haven't had their moment in the limelight on stage, and they haven't had a leaderboard that reflects the sailing that they've done. But that's the nature of the beast.
Well, one to go, right? So it could still happen.
One to go. I got everything crossed. Well, it's really difficult. We've had a massive step forward at this pinnacle end of the sport. So a female is on every single team. A female is going to win the Volvo Ocean race. And we've set up this dream where girls are looking and go, oh, I can do the Volvo Ocean race, which is great. And at the very bottom of our sport, at grassroots, we've got lots of interaction of all the girls sailing dinghies and with the guys, and there's no difference at all. What we don't have is anything in the middle. There's no pathway. There's a load of events between dinghy sailing as a kid and the Volvo at the moment where there's no female interaction. The last Vendée Globe did not have a female sailor in it. The RC44s don't have any female sailors in. The TP52 series don't have any female sailors in. And there's no opportunity. The GC32s don't have any female. I mean, the list is endless when you start looking. And there's no opportunities for the girls to go and get experience, get driving, get trimming, and get these skills that the guys get naturally. So even as a group of under 30s, the boys still have more sailing experience than the girls had. And that's what I think we're struggling with. And the only way that's going to come is everybody that's involved in this race takes what we've done for the last year forwards. So are these guys going to invite the girls on deliveries that they've got, or some of the race crews they've got? Are they offering those opportunities out there? And the reality is it's not happening. So we still haven't changed people's opinions. And that's the frustration. So we need to find some way in the middle to make this happen. And it's a two-way street. The girls also generally don't put themselves out there because they don't believe, because there hasn't been the opportunities. They've got this general opinion, well, no, I'm not as good as the boys will do it. So the girls need to be fit and strong. They need to actually have the confidence to put themselves out there. A guy will go, well, yeah, I can do that. He might not be 100% at it, but he'll go and give it a go and he'll learn on the job, or people will help him on the job. A girl will be like, oh no, I'm not 100%, so I won't go for that at all. So what we need to do is change the way girls are, to give them more self-belief and confidence to go out there and put themselves in those positions, go and get those rides. But equally, we've got to help facilitate those opportunities becoming available. And I don't know the right way of doing it, but we haven't got that middle path sorted yet. So we've got this pinnacle event, we've got grassroots, and we've got nothing in the middle.